China, meanwhile, reported 44 more deaths from the novel coronavirus epidemic today and 327 fresh cases, the lowest daily figure for new infections in more than a month. The death toll now stands at 2,788 in mainland China, according to the National Health Commission. The number of fatalities, which is up from the 29 reported on Thursday, were all in Hubei province, the epicenter of the outbreak, except for 2 deaths in Beijing. Over 78,000 people have now been infected with the COVID-19 strain in mainland China. Today's figures was the lowest rise in new cases since January 24th, where 259 new infections were reported. The general decline in new infections in China comes as infections in other countries gather pace, with the World Health Organization warning that the coronavirus epidemic was at a decisive point. South Korea reported 256 new coronavirus cases, taking the total, the highest in the world outside China, to 2022. The Korean Center for Disease Control and Prevention said that more than 90% of the new cases were in Daegu, the city of that's the epicenter of the outbreak in South Korea, and the neighboring North Gyeongsang province. It added, with no further deaths, keeping the toll at 13. South Korea's total is expected to increase further after checks began on more than 2 lakh members of the Shincheonji Church of Jesus, a secretive entity often accused of being a cult that is linked to around half of the country's cases. The World Health Organization declared that the new coronavirus epidemic was at a decisive point as countries across the globe battle to contain the deadly outbreak. WHO also said that if active steps are taken, then the virus can be contained and thousands of lives can be saved. After China, other countries including South Korea and Italy becoming hotbeds of infection has raised concerns for the World Health Organization. WHO Chief Tedros said all countries should ensure their health systems were prepared, and specifically poor countries with weak health infrastructures. The virus has already killed more than 2,788 people, mostly in China, where it first emerged in December, and infected more than 81,000 people in over 45 countries.